finance, a la shmup. What are bankers' acceptance notes and cashier's checks? Okay, so banker's acceptance note, what is it? Well, it's kind of a T-bill, but with fewer calories. That is, a bank takes on the risk or promise of a future payment to be made to a creditor, and it's, backed by the bank, and it's kind of backed by the federal government, sorta. Sound weird? Well, it is. Banker's acceptance notices are generally used in foreign trade, where the two parties, just don't trust each other. Think about it like an escrow account when you buy a home. The funds get released once it's confirmed that the home does not, in fact, have nuclear waste under it. The gal who says she's the owner of the home is, in fact, the owner, and the forward costs of taxes have all been paid. Like it's a good sale, the home's legally available to be sold, in fact, and after all the boxes have been checked, then the money releases from the bank to the seller, and all's good. Well, bankers' acceptance notes work in the same fashion, like the shipment of Chinese toe traps, way more comfortable than the finger version, was in fact found and picked up at the loading dock, brought back to the factory, and, tested on chimps. Sorry, PETA, we're just keeping it real. At that point, the bank pays the foreign bank, and, everyone's happy-ish. Why pay the extra fees for a system to work this way? Like banks don't pay banks for free. Well, because banks generally, quote, know each other, unquote, better than individuals know each other across foreign borders. U.S. banks trade with banks in whatever stan all the time, even when U.S. banks have no idea where whatever stan is or what it whatever stands for. Then you've got the kissing cousin of the banker's acceptance note, the cashier's check. Well, a cashier's check is guaranteed by the bank and drawn against the bank's own cash reserves. That check is signed by a cashier as if the bank itself is buying whatever product is being paid for with a cashier's check. The bank is the entity fully responsible for paying that amount, and because of this, quote, extremely guaranteed safety, unquote, cashier's checks are common in complex or expensive transactions like buying a home or setting up an initial brokerage account, so that the odds of monkey business happening when it comes time to collect the bananas are low, and this is why, like bananas, cashier's checks have appeal.